Hey, what's going on, Hugh? This is Jack here with Mr. and Mrs. Leeds. Here's that video analysis recording that I promised you the other day. So in this video analysis, I'm just going to go over what I can see as a search marketer and provide some further insight, as well as what the potential is of actually ranking you for some of the terms that you want to rank for, and what it might take to actually get you there, and how we would be able to help if we're to partner together in this project. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get started. The first thing I did was I actually put your website here in a tool called Ahrefs. Ahrefs allows search marketers like myself to look at the metrics of a website once you put in like the URL and things like that, and I'll show you a couple of other tools that they can do. But right off the bat, what I can see is that there's just not a lot of backlinks that are pointing back to this website. Now, Hugh, if you don't know what a backlink is, it's basically any website out there that are linking back to your website via a hyperlink. And so what I mean by that is, let's say there is a blog out there that's called thedroneblog.com, and they make a new blog post. And in that blog post, they say, hey, if you're looking for the best drones in America, visit www.dronesforsaleusa.com. And then if you clicked on that link, it would take you directly to your website. And so Google actually tracks all these different websites that are pointing back to your website, and they use that information to determine how authoritative your website is. And authority is actually a very important metric that determines how quickly you rank up in Google's algorithm or how high you rank up in Google's algorithm. So backlinks are extremely important because they build the authority and trust in your website. So in Google's eyes, if there's a lot of these good quality websites that are relevant to your niche, that are referring visitors to you by making that link, right? They think that you're the kind of website that a lot of other websites like to talk about, a lot of websites that like to refer, and you're the kind of website that's like popular. And so they use that as a big trust factor and an authority factor, and they feel like those are the kinds of websites that should rank a lot higher than others. And so the fact that you have 5 referring domains on 11 backlinks just means that you just don't have enough links that are pointing back to your website to really show that you're an authoritative website in this space. If you see like authoritative websites, you'll see like referring domains that are like anywhere between 200 to 300 to 4,000 referring domains on like 1 to 10,000 backlinks, right? And so that the fact that you're sitting at 5 referring domains on 11 backlinks just means that you're just nowhere near where we need to be to make sure that you rank higher than others. If the authority on your website based on the backlinks isn't there, if you just don't have enough links, you're just never going to outrank your competition, and that's just fact. That's just something that we've noticed from all the testing that we've done with SEO and from other people we are involved in and things like that. That we just kind of know exactly what it takes to rank at the top of Google based on Google's current algorithm, and it's just one of those things that are a big rank factor. And so you can see right now it looks like you're ranking for 10 organic keywords, but there's no organic traffic, estimated organic traffic that's going to your website, mainly because you just don't show up for a lot of key terms that you really should be showing up for. And so here's your website right here, and it's a really nicely designed website. The first thing that I notice is that we want to make sure that there is a little bit more content on the home page than we're at right now. So the biggest amount of content is right here, this part right here. But you can see right here, even on the heading, it says real estate, special events, television and film, social media marketing, and post-production. And so when Google actually goes in and crawls this website to determine what the website is about, right now, the only things that are really bolded out and in your heading is real estate, special events, television and film, social media marketing, and post-production. So it almost sounds like you guys are like a videography website. You're a television and film production kind of business, but you also have drones. And so Google's going to have a hard time understanding that your website is meant to promote and to sell drones on your website. And so even though you have drones for sale, right now what we need to do is we need to 100% make sure exactly what this website is about. So drones for sale is going to give you credit for the fact that you want to sell drones, right? And so Google's going to recognize that. But if your content in your website conflicts with that, doesn't actually 100% coincide with selling drones online, Google's going to have a hard time understanding exactly what you're looking to do with the website. And we want to make it as easy as possible for Google to understand exactly what you're looking to sell. And so you can see, like, welcome to Drones for Sale USA. We have the largest selection of drones for a variety of uses. And so you have some information right here, but this right here is just not enough information for Google to understand. And what we want to do is we want to layer in a couple more keywords in here as well as a couple of longer tail phrases to help kind of diversify your keywords, but also make sure that you get credit for that. And so what I wanted to show you right here is this next tab right here. What I did was I actually put in the phrase drones for sale into the Keywords Explorer of Ahrefs to kind of look at some of the metrics on that keyword and to see what other keywords that are out there. And so you can see right now drones for sale has about 27,000 searches per month in Google, and the keyword difficulty is a 29. Now, keyword difficulty is on a scale of 0 to 100, 100 being the hardest to rank for, and 0 being the easiest. And with a keyword difficulty of 29, isn't too bad. It's definitely possible for us to rank you for this kind of keyword, but it's not going to be one of those things that are that we're going to be able to rank you very quickly. If the keyword difficulty was closer to between 0 to 5, we would definitely be able to rank you a lot quicker for those kinds of phrases. And that's actually a good segue to what I want to talk about next, because while there's bigger money keywords like drones for sale with the keyword difficulty of 29, what we like to do is in the process of actually ranking you for these bigger keywords like drones for sale, what we want to do is we actually want to target some of the lower hanging fruit by going after what we call the longer tail keywords. And so people out there, even if they do want drones and they want drones for sale, not everyone types the exact phrase drones for sale into Google, right? There's many other ways that people will actually type that kind of phrase into Google because, you know, just because we're humans, we think differently and our vernacular, our different phrasing is different. And so you can see how there's actually some different keywords that are not bad at all. So you can see used drones for sale. Now, I don't know if you sell used drones, but used drones for sale still gets about 1,100 searches per month. And check this out, it's got a keyword difficulty of 2. And like I was mentioning before, anything that's between 0 to 5, we can rank very quickly for that kind of keyword. And so that one might be decent if you actually sold used drones for sale. Let's check out and see if we can find anything else. So drones for sale with camera, looks like that's actually got a keyword difficulty of 27, so that might be a little bit harder. Military drones for sale, 12. Racing drones for sale might be interesting. So you got a keyword difficulty of 3. Still gets a decent amount of volume of 600. Cheap drones for sale, it's got 26. So Amazon drones for sale is actually surprisingly, you can actually rank for phrases like this: drones for sale Amazon and Amazon drones for sale. What we want to do is in like a new post that we make, whether it's a blog post or a new page we build out, what we want to do is we want to layer in things like the best drones that you can get on Amazon now, reviewed. Best drones for sale on Amazon 2017. And then you would have this big review page with a lot of good content, a lot of good information. Obviously, you don't have to write it out yourself unless you're a big enthusiast of this website. Now, I know you have other websites, so I'm not sure how involved you are in the space. You can always hire someone, right? There's plenty of content people that do that for a living that we can absolutely hire to write some quality articles for us, and then start ranking it for that. So that way, since you have that phrase like best drones that you can buy on Amazon 2017 or something like that, Google is going to recognize that you have the word drones. It's going to recognize for sale. It's going to recognize Amazon, and then they're going to be able to give you credit for that phrase for that page or that blog post that we build out. And so that's the kind of thing that we could do. Let's go over to this tab. What I did was I actually type in drones to see what we could find. So let's see here, racing drones. So racing drones gets 11,000 searches per month. So if you don't currently carry it, maybe definitely something to consider. Drones for kids. I know this actually, you do have a page for drones for kids. So that's definitely something that we want to go at. There we go, drones for kids. So that's definitely something that we want to go after. Product category, drones for kids. Now, just on top of what I was talking about with building the backlinks on your website, the other thing what we want to do is we want to have more content on here as well. Now, we don't actually necessarily have to make this web page rank for the phrase drones for kids, but if we wanted to make this one rank, we just need more content on here because content is just another one of those factors that we've realized is a ranking factor. So along with building the authority on your website by having more links pointing back to your website, and by the way, that's something that we do, right? That's what our job is as an SEO, to build the authority on your website and to optimize it, right? And so we, on top of that, we also want to make sure that we have content because the more content that you have, anywhere between 700 to 1,500 words of content for the keyword that you want to go after, you just start ranking higher. The reason being is Google has a hard time understanding images, right? They can't look at an image and determine what it is about. They might be able to recognize it based on the file image name, or maybe the the alts the alternate image name that you can actually add on there. And if you don't have that, Google just doesn't have any clue what the picture is about, but they can read content, right? So they can go through the content, they can pick out some of the keywords, and they can get an overall feel for what the article is about. And so that's the kind of thing that we want to help, like I said, help Google understand exactly what keywords you want to rank for. That way, on top of building the authority on your website, we're showing Google exactly what kind of things you want to rank for, and we're going through all the kosher things that Google's looking for, like having good content on there, having good images, making sure that you have optimized header tags so Google knows exactly what it's about. You want to make sure that the keyword is in your URL. In this case, it is drones for kids, and those are the kinds of things that we know that are things that Google are looking for and will help place you at the top of Google for all the different kinds of phrases. So what we would do is we would go after these larger keywords, but in the meantime, we would also go after the longer tail keywords. That way, we can rank you for those longer tail phrases, start bringing in traffic to your website, and start making sales. That way, you can have something to base it off of while we're in the process of ranking you for the harder keywords. Because as you understand with Google, nobody really goes to your website if you're on the second, third, fourth, fifth page. But the moment that you get to the first page, you're going to get an influx of traffic for that keyword and for that page that you're ranking for that keyword. And so it takes a while for us to get to the first page, but the moment that you're on the first page, and then once we start ranking up on the first page, you're just going to see immediate huge increases in traffic because that's just how Google works. Google doesn't go where like it'll give credit for an article for a little bit and then switch it over to a new website and give a little bit of credit that way. Nah, usually what happens is they make sure that the best ranking article that has the best metrics stay at the top of Google. And so that's the one that keeps on constantly getting the majority of the traffic and constantly getting the majority of the sales. Right? And so that's our goal with you, but we know that these kinds of keywords with the higher difficulty is just one of those things that take a lot of time and resources. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have more keywords that we want to go after that we can rank for that's a lot quicker. So in the email, I'll outline the cost of something like this for us to rank. I need to do a little bit more homework after this recording to come up with some of the pricing. And then time-wise, you can see us ranking for the longer tail phrases that have low keyword difficulty within about a few months, maybe 2 to 4 months. And then for the longer tail keywords, it'll be closer to about 8 to 12 months. And that's just a rough estimate. It always fluctuates. It could always be sooner if it so happens that the niche just doesn't have a lot of a competition that's doing everything right. And sometimes it's just one of those niches that Google likes to kind of move things around and play with a lot more than other niches. And that is absolutely something that is different between niches. Like in the health niche, Google is a lot more prone to giving authority websites like WebMD a lot more credit for all the different keywords, whereas opposed to things like hobby enthusiast websites, they're more willing to give niche websites a lot more credit than the authority websites because that's just how Google works. And Google likes to layer in different kinds of algorithms for different kinds of niches. So it Really depends. That's why I can only give you an estimate. I can't tell you a clear cut. It's going to take us exactly 2 months for us to rank for this phrase. It's going to take us 4 months to rank for this phrase. Things like that. Just because it's just one of those things that we have to go in and continue to work on, and then flesh it out as we go along. We recognize that this is working well. This keyword is ranking very quickly, so we want to make sure we do that. We're having a little bit of difficulty ranking for this keyword. Let's go in and see exactly what we need to do to take this to the next level. And it's just kind of like an ongoing process. So I hope at the very least you got some information out of this, a little bit more insight. If you have any more questions, obviously we can chat over the phone. I'll leave my phone number at the bottom of the email in case you didn't get it last time. And then otherwise, we can just kind of chat by email as well. So look forward to talking to you soon, Hugh. Hope you have a great rest of your day and week, and take care. Thank you.